So everyone likes a discount. Who doesn't like 50% off, half off? Well, when it comes to camping in Florida state parks, that's what you can get. I would say if you look in any state in America with regards to the state parks, these discounts may apply, but in this video, I am specifically talking about Florida state parks. Because camping and RVing can become an expensive thing, there are some ways that you can get around some of the cost if you fit in a certain category. So let's get into it. The number one way you can get 50% off at Florida state parks is if you are age 65 or older and a Florida resident. That's right, Grandma, Grandpa. If you are 65 and older and have a Florida license, you can come to a state park and get 50% off. So that would pretty much bring you to anywhere from $13 a night and up. And that's pretty cheap. The other way that you can get 50% off is if you are disabled. If you have a federal certification of a disability, you can bring that certification paperwork to the Rangers Park and you can get 50% off. And that's a huge savings. So there is also a third way that you can save 50% off. That is if you are a foster parent. If you have foster kids and you have some type of paperwork to show that you're a foster parent, you can get 50% off. So these three main categories, being age 65 and older and a Florida resident, or just being disabled, federally deemed by the government and having the paperwork to prove it, or being a foster parent, all three of these categories in Florida State Park, and check your state specifically if you're camping in the USA, this can get you 50% off. And if you qualify, why not take advantage if you're into camping or RVing? So be aware. Now, the other thing to be aware of is if you may not be camping overnight, but you want to visit state parks as a destination, or you need somewhere to park and have peace and quiet during the day, you can get a Florida State Park Pass. That does not give you discounts on camping, but that allows you access to any state park all day long, all the way till sundown. So the same discounts apply to the Florida State Park Pass, senior, disabled, or foster parent. So right now, I believe the Florida State Park Pass is $120. So if you can get 50% off that, $60 for the entire year, you get unlimited access during the day only, to the Florida State Parks. So what you find in camping and especially full-time RVing is you're not going to find one park with one fee that gives you everything. What you're going to have to do, especially if you are budget conscious and you're trying to live a little bit cheaper than average, you're going to have several resources, several different places to go, have a lot of flexibility in your mindset and logistically, and be aware of some of these programs. And when the state parks are full, maybe you go to the Thousand Trails Park. And if you're living on the cheap, just get the Thousand Trails Camping Pass, not a membership. If you're living cheap, you may mix in some stealthing. And so between stealth parking, between the Florida State Parks, if you get a discount between a Thousand Trails Camping Pass, and also in Florida, there is something called the Florida Water Management Districts, which are like BLM land on the West Coast, Bureau of Land Management. In Florida, the Florida Water Management Districts have free camping. You have to apply for a permit online, very easy for the most part. And you can stay up to 8 days, I believe, consecutive. And then you have to go out for a day or two or three, and then you can come back in. And you can use each district for up to 30 days per calendar year. I think it's every 6-month period that resets. So all these resources, okay, Florida Water Management District, maybe get a discount at camping at state parks, maybe you do some Thousand Trails camping pass, maybe you mix in some stealth in, some truck stops. You got to mix. You got to calculate for gas. You got to understand that sometimes if you're living cheap, you may get pulled away from areas that you want to camp because you're looking to camp for cheap. Like someone left me a message the other day, well, that's why I never pay for campgrounds. I'd rather just stealth park or boondock. Well, that's fine. I understand that. I've done that, but that forces you to be in a truck stop, forces you to be camping in the middle of nowhere on some land that it's free because it's in the middle of nowhere. So that may equate to a low quality of life if you like to be in certain areas by the beach or certain towns. I've done both, so I don't judge either, but I'm saying that's something you have to consider. If you're camping in the middle of nowhere, you're also creating a low quality of life because you're in the middle of nowhere. Now, if you enjoy it, don't worry about it. Then it's a good quality of life for you. But if you enjoy being by the beach, that may not be the best. But either way, if you're budget conscious, there's not a one magical answer. But I'm giving you some information, some resources, some awareness of items. And a lot of this is specific to Florida, but some of it is not. Because again, I believe a lot of these programs, and maybe even more, may apply to some other states. I know like in New Mexico, there's even cheaper camping. They have a New Mexico State Park Pass, and that actually even subsidizes your camping fees. So, and there's Thousand Trails campgrounds throughout most of the country. So, especially on the coast. So there's a lot of ways, guys and girls, that you can mitigate some of your costs, but it may cause you to go in areas you may or may not want to be. But what you do if you're a nomad is you stay flexible, you gather all the information, you allocate some of your funds to resources that may help you stay compliant, stay out of trouble, and stay safe. And you take a certain level of calculated risk depending on how you want to live, how you want to move, how you want to camp, where you want to park. But also remember, if you had a night shift job, you've eliminated the parking problem. Why? Because if you're working at night, that means during the day you can pretty much park any public park. Okay, so obviously you have to respect the park. You can't be doing crazy things like hanging your clothes on trees. But so, either way, I want to give a video, and I've shared about this before about Florida state parks, but I want to remind you, as I've been mitigating some of my risk, which I believe avoiding some stealth camping and just getting a little bit more into state parks, even though I don't know what it was. Last night I was sleeping and I was in a campground and something was like jiggling on my car roof. I said, oh my God, here I am trying to avoid problems by not stealth parking. And I think it was like a squirrel or an animal was jumping on my roof. It was real quick, but it was like, it shook me up. I said, sometimes you're safer in a gym parking lot with 24-hour cameras. I really never felt, I've always conscious of the town and the area I'm in. But, when you stealth park in truck stops, in, parking lots that, allow it for the most part, there's cameras, there's patrolmen, you kind of feel safe. There's people in the middle of nowhere. To me, you feel a little bit more unsafe, and even some remote campgrounds. So that's something that I've learned also through my 5 years experience as a nomad. So these are some things, again, I just want to throw out there based on my experience, and I hope they help you. If they do help you, click that thumbs up. You want to support the channel, click that blue join button. Leave a comment below, share the video, check out my playlist, which has thousands of free videos. I know you like that discount. And what should you do? Take care of your health and take care of your ability to make money. Why? Because your income and your health are your safety blanket, not your shelter. Because you got to, as best you can within your ability, I recognize some people are retired or disabled, but for those who have ability and are not retired, always protect your health no matter who you are. And then number two is, go after your income, because your income is your safety blanket, not a shelter, not an RV. Your ability to have financial resources gives you a lot of options. Options gives you safety. Laziness makes you suffer, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Never forget it. And so self-care is always at the core of a lot of my videos for those who pay attention and those who are seeking truth, not just seeking to troll and to cause contention. So shout out to everyone out there I've connected with online or in person. I thank you for being a positive person. Shout out to you. Keep pushing forward, one day at a time, one step at a time. Thank you.